Hey everyone, Hunter here back again, and just like I promised, this video will be dedicated to those important champion mechanics that need a bit of time to explain. Let's get right to it. Let's start with champion rarity. This determines the basic strength of the champion. Those with higher rarity have better base stats and usually skills that are more powerful in terms of either pure damage, the kind of buffs and debuffs they inflict, and so on. First are common champions. These are the pawns on your board and are only really useful very early in the game. After that, the majority of them will be used as food to give your champions XP, or they're farmed up to higher ranks to use to increase the ranks of other champions. Still, once you've progressed far enough, it can be cool to experiment even with these most basic warriors and see what you can get from them. But that's more like a hobby project. In general, they're not something you should be investing in heavily. Uncommon champions are only marginally better, but may come with some useful skills that can help you in niche solutions, particularly early on in the campaign. You'll be using these for a little while during the first stages of the game, but after that, they're typically going to be food, just like common ones. Next up are rare champions. These are the true backbone of your champion collection. Though their stats are a bit weaker than those of epic and legendary champions, and not every rare skill will blow your mind, these are still going to be the core of your collection and the cornerstone of your beginner teams for a while to come. They have the advantage over epic and legendary champions of being easier to find duplicates of, therefore being easier to skill up, and often a fully skilled up rare can be more useful than an underdeveloped epic. Creating effective synergies and champion combos will be key to passing early game challenges, until you're strong enough to blow every dungeon out of the water, that is. Epic champions are next up. Rarer than rare, but easier to come by than legendary champions, they sit in a happy middle ground between being easily obtainable and strong enough to do some real damage and make your life easier. They have better base stats than rare champions, and they often have special skills or more powerful debuffs that can turn the tide of battle when used correctly and paired with other champions well. Finally, legendary champions are like the holy grail. Mythical, highly sought after, and damn powerful. Aside from just looking awesome, they also have the highest base stats among all champions, meaning that they will always have a slight advantage in terms of raw potential. And until you have good enough artifacts to exploit that potential, the reverse is true. They help you beat challenges with lower artifact quality. They also have the most variable and often most powerful skills among the entire bunch. And remember rule number something? You should never ever waste a legendary, as we've talked about in our do's and don'ts video. Want the cliff notes? Higher rarity means better stats, better damage, better buffs, and better debuffs. Just all around better. Though it's also worth keeping in mind that rarity alone won't save the day. A well-chosen and equipped team of rare champions will absolutely rock a ragtag bunch of legendaries with random artifacts. So don't rest on your laurels if you were lucky enough to get a powerful champion. Learn how to get the most out of them. If you had the chance to summon a few champions already, you might have noticed that champions of different rarities are summoned with a different rank, which is shown by the number of stars on their portrait. Common champions are always rank 1 at the start. Legendary champions are rank 5. There are 6 ranks in total, and champions can progress all the way to rank 6 no matter what rank they held when summoned. We'll explain how to do that too, but first, it's important to know that ranks have a level cap, at which point champions at that rank can't level up anymore. The maximum level or level cap for each rank is the rank itself multiplied by 10. So rank 1 champions cannot go above level 10. Rank 2s can go up to level 20 and so on. Rank 6 champions can reach level 60 and the peak of their potential. Want to keep leveling up your champions? Increase their rank. So how do your champions gain level? If you've ever played an RPG, this shouldn't be anything groundbreaking. They need to gain experience by battling and killing things. Well, for the most part. Even if you lose a PvE battle, there will be some experience to be gained from it, unless you lost really badly and didn't defeat anyone. But winning gives you way more XP, as it should. We'll make a separate video about maximizing the experience gains of your champions, or else we'd never get to the rest of the important stuff we had planned for this episode. Apart from battles, you can also send champions to the Sparring Pit, where they gain experience automatically. You can't use them anywhere else at that time, but you also don't really need to do anything beyond check up on the Sparring Pit once you have a notification and tap the Upgrade to Level Your Champion button. Technically, you can sacrifice champions in the Tavern to give experience to other champions, but that's not the most efficient thing to do. Not when you have XP brews, at least. If you have XP brews stashed away, you can quickly level up a champion with just a few taps. See, it's pretty simple. Just select a champion, select the Upgrade level tab, it's the one open by default, and fill the open slots with things you want to feed your champion. Remember, XP brews of a matching affinity give way more experience, so try to be efficient when using them. But why do we need to level up champions in the first place? Well, each level gained results in the base stats of the champion increasing. You also cannot increase their rank without hitting that rank's level cap. So let's say we have the Noble Paladin Athiel here, who's just reached level 30. She's at the level cap for rank 3, so how do we go about upgrading her? First, we need to make sure we have an appropriate number of champions to sacrifice for the upgrade. They have to be of the same rank as Athiel, which is rank 3 in this case, but their level does not matter. Then, we need to go to the Tavern, select our champion, and go to upgrade rank. This part's easy because the game will only display champions of the appropriate rank that can be used for the upgrade. See how some of them have a lock on their portraits? That means that the champion is either busy somewhere, like being part of your arena defense, Sparring Pit team, and so on, or you simply locked them in the champion collection to prevent them being lost by accident. Legendary and epic champions are locked by default to avoid accidental sacrifice. Once the champions have been selected, hit the upgrade button and watch the magic happen. Now wait, what's up with the stats decreasing after increasing rank? Well, when they ranked up, their level was reset. Athiel was at level 30, but now she's at level 1. It's just how champion progression works. But don't worry, you'll be getting your champion back to their previous power level and go far beyond it in no time. Let's take a look at this in a bit more detail. This graph shows the average stat progression for champions at each rank. After they level up, their level is reset and their stats decrease, but soon after they level up, they overtake and surpass their previous power, and by a large margin. With each increase in rank comes a significant power upgrade at the max level for that rank. This graph isn't specific, so let's use an example. As always, let's use our girl Athiel. And as she's a damage dealer, let's take a look at the development of her attack stat from rank 3 to 4. You'll see that after she was upgraded, her attack stat dropped, but then fairly quickly, she caught up to the previous stat and overtook it. In this case, she surpassed her previous strength at level 19, and then at level 40, the cap for rank 4, she's a killer. If you look at it closely, you'll see that the drop in the stat after she was upgraded from rank 3 to rank 4 disappears at level 19. And at level 40, this same stat is significantly higher than her highest at rank 3. That's about it when it comes to the basics of ranks and levels of your champions. Next up, we'll talk about Ascension and why you'll learn to love it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode.